my channel. I have finally filmed a makeup look. Hallelujah. This look was so requested. This is just like a basic soft glam, really something quite easy to do, something that is just really wearable and glowy. So I've gone for bronze glow and I hope you like it. Okay, so to start, I am completely barefaced. I haven't even got moisturiser on, so I'm going to show you what I do from start to finish, as I haven't done a video in a while. I'm going to go in with this Charlotte Tilbury's Magic Cream. It's an expensive one, I'm not going to lie. Do I love it? Yeah. Is it really good? Yeah. But there are a lot of other good moisturisers out there. I just like a thick moisturiser. I just think that when you do your makeup, if your skin is really well moisturised, I don't really use primers too tough now. Like I go through phases. That's how it is with makeup. It's like literally whatever you're feeling at the moment. But at the moment, I just like a really nice thick moisturiser. Even if I'm doing someone's makeup and they've got quite greasy skin, I like a thick moisturiser because I just think that it makes the makeup go on so nice, seamlessly, really youthful and dewy looking, and then obviously set with powder, because most people that have greasy skin are not greasy all over. So if you use something mattifying, I find that quite often it can make areas look dry. Next up, I'm going in with the CHIT YSL foundation. This is like been a constant favourite of mine. You can see it's very well loved. I'm just going to give that a little shake up because it's been a while since I've worn makeup. Obviously it doesn't happen too often in lockdown, hence why I'm able to have the time to finally record a video for you guys. I'm just going to use 2 pumps of that. You know when a foundation comes to an end, how annoying is that when it kind of just splatters? Yeah, this isn't my favourite foundation. This is just a really good one that I've used for years. And you can see it's well loved. I'm just going in with a Spectrum brush. Love this, like a flat foundation brush. I'm just starting, I always place the product in the centre of the face and work it out because you don't actually need a lot around the edges. And that is often how people end up looking super cakey. So I'm just kind of stippling this out and then I'm going to really buff it. So if you are like me, I tend to match my neck. Because I'd rather look a bit more tanned, and I just think it looks a bit weird that my face is paler, but that is how it naturally is. Next up, I'm going in with a really good dupe product. Again, I have run out of, I usually use like Nars Creamy Radiant Concealer. I've run out. There's quite a few that I quite like. Tarte have some really good ones, but at the moment I've run out, and this is just equally as good. And I just want to give you this look really authentically with the stuff that I've got at hand, because a lot of this stuff you might be able to easily get hold of, whereas some of the stuff that I can't get hold of at the moment, you'll probably be in the same situation. So I'm just going to use what I have to hand, and that is this Infallible L'Oreal concealer. Really good. This is in the shade Cafe au Latte. I don't know. It's 331. State of my hair. I've run out of hair product as well. How am I even going to film this video? I'm just going to apply this under the eye. It's quite a nice thick concealer. I have quite dark circles, so I need something thick, and I like a really yellowy shade. As you can see, it looks quite bright, but that is kind of what I go for. You can tone it down if you're not into that, but I just think yellowy tones under the eye, absolute must in coverage, and it's just going to give you that really nice bright look. So this is kind of area that I will add my concealer. I'm going to add a little bit. So before I used to do the whole highlight and contouring, but sometimes you can kind of like contour via highlighting. So you just kind of do your highlight areas / concealing, and that will kind of automatically make the face look slightly more contoured because you've got them high points. So this is just a quicker and easier way to do it compared to maybe some of my older videos. Going back in with that same brush, and again, because it's quite bright and because this was my foundation brush, it's going to help blend everything out, and it's easy. We're trying to make this an easy, simple vid for everyone. So I'm just going to go in and buff that out, and then when we go into the inner eye, I'm going to make sure that I'm really delicate, and we're just kind of using a really nice little rotating motion. just to make sure that nothing's going to sit in any creases. This is my most textured area. I think a lot of you will know what I mean by that. You maybe notice it in photos or close up, like you've got a lot of texture around this center area, so you just want to make sure that the application is really smooth. And you can see that this concealer is really like a nice high street buy, and it's super affordable, and it's really good. Look, it's so bright and great coverage. Don't worry about the top eyelid, because I am going to go in and do something else for that. I tend not to use beauty blenders tons anymore, just because I feel like I'm just going through a phase where I prefer brushes. I feel like they pick up less product. But this is the Seamless Blender from Iconic London. I do like this. And I just kind of pat under the eye, just because I have really creasy under eyes. And I just want to make sure that everything is kind of like in its place and as it should be. And it just gives me that extra little bit of kind of like blending out. But in general, I wouldn't really bother. If I'm doing makeup on other people, I will just use brushes. You can kind of see now that the cheekbones are slightly more defined, even though I've not contoured. It's just kind of where I've highlighted that area. Stay hydrated. So I said don't worry about the top eyelids, that's because I'm going to go in with a different product for that. I much prefer to use this than blend out my concealer, but you can always just blend out your concealer in your top eyelids. Don't leave them blank, because they will look like, you can see they're like kind of ready, veiny. They just don't, it just looks unfinished with the complete look. Right, so this is Painterly by MAC. This comes in different shades. It's Pro, right, so it's Pro Longwear Paint Pot, but I like Painterly and I use that on a lot of different skin tones for people because I just like it. It creates this lovely base. I'm using Iconic London kind of this is from their eye brush set. It's just like a flat buffing brush. I'm just buffing that in all across that eyelid, all up to the brow bone, right up to my eyebrow. This is just going to give the eyes that little bit of coverage. It's a really nice base if you're putting on eyeshadow, because it's quite light and neutral. It's just going to make that colour really pop. So I just highly recommend this. I use this all the time. A little bit goes a long way. It's going to last you ages as well. Right, next up now, I'm going to set the entire face with powder. If you are a shiny person, a greasy skinned person, you can go full on baking. I'm not going to do that. I actually haven't done that for a long time now. I prefer this technique that I use. So listen carefully, because this is my perfect way to get flawless skin. Right, we're going in with the ABH banana powder in the shade Banana. It's actually called Loose Setting Powder in the shade Banana. I'm going to go in with a fluffy brush. I've got this beautiful Iconic London one. So you need a big fluffy brush. Literally pat my brush, I don't know if you can see that, lay my brush in there, and then I'm literally going to pat it off. I'm going to pat off as much as I possibly can. This makes such a big difference. You don't want a lot on the brush. A lot of people put on tons, and I feel like that's how it just dries out the face and makes it look really cakey. And then further that, I'm gonna even like pat off some more. This does go everywhere if you're doing makeup on other people, so do it away from them. Yeah, so when it's like that, it's literally got the tiniest bit on there. I'm gonna lay this under the eye. I'm just gonna sweep across the face, like so. I absolutely am obsessed with this powder. A lot of people talk about the Laura Mercier one, but for me, I really like this powder. So you're just sweeping it off almost. And I know some people are going to be watching this thinking, well, you've tapped off the whole thing. You're sweeping it off your face. Is there any point? Yes. Yes, there is. This is crucial to the flawless skin effort. And most of the time I'm patting it off back into the thing, so I'm not wasting any. It lasts ages anyway, honestly. Invest in a good loose setting powder. If you know there's areas that you kind of have real shininess, obviously focus on those areas, but I just like to just lightly dust it all over, and you can just see straight away the skin just looks smooth. That is what we're going for. And because I want to be super glowy, I'm going to go in with the Iconic London Illuminator. This is my favourite liquid highlighter. And I'm just going to rub it in with my fingertips. This can sit on top of powder. It's not even an issue. I know so many people are so scared. I just come a bit closer, you can see me. So the way I'm going to do this, and this is the trick, this is the area that I apply. And I apply with the finger that's obviously got the product. Then I blend out with a clean finger. And then that way you're never going to go too wild with the highlight. Although I am going to go wild with the highlight because I'm probably going to add more. And that's the kind of vibe that you want. The reason I'm doing my highlight before the rest of my makeup is because I really like when your highlight looks really nicely blended into your makeup. I kind of feel like sometimes when I used to, like, I mean, you can do this, but I used to add it on after, and sometimes it detracts from the bronzer or the contour, whatever you've got on. It kind of looks like you've got like a white mark. This way I just feel like it's better because you just get a better final look. I'm going to go in with my favourite powder bronzer right now, which is this Pretty Little Glow by Doll Beauty. Absolutely love this. I'm just going to go in with a fluffy kind of tapered brush. This is Spectrum again, and this is a really golden highlight, which I absolutely love because a lot of the highlights look quite white or silvery, and on my skin tone, or if you're my skin tone or darker, golden just looks so banging, like it looks so beautiful. So I'm just gonna pop a little bit extra. We did say this look was gonna be glowy. I'm just gonna pop, wow. Don't worry, when we blend it out, it's not gonna be so intense, but I just wanted it super glowy. And then we're just gonna bring it slightly down onto the cheek, and then when I do my bronze and blush, it's just gonna merge in really beautifully and look so pretty. Very particular what I do with my nose, the way I highlight my nose, so I use the thinnest brush ever, and I draw a line directly in the middle of my nose. It's gonna make your nose look straighter, it's gonna make your nose look more narrow. It's the perfect way to highlight your nose, and I'm using that same Doll Beauty one. And I'm literally just drawing straight down the nose. It looks a bit crazy when you first do it, but we're gonna blend it out. Then I'm gonna take the flatter side and I'm literally just drawing directly across. Okay? Trust me, it's gonna make your nose look so good. And then you can just blend this out with fingertips, a brush, whatever. My camera battery died. Rookie mistake. This is how long I haven't been doing this in. I went in and added a little something to my eyebrows. I probably wasn't going to film that for you guys anyway because the video is going to be way too long. So yeah, if you really want to see how I do my eyebrows, just comment or send me a message and I will do it on the next video. Right, I'm going in and doing a combination of bronzing and contouring, a little bit of both. And I'm using Hoola in Caramel. Very important. This caramel shade is so much more warmer and golden and bronze, and I love it. I love it. It is quite dark, so I make sure I like tap it off as I go, etc. But they also do Hoola obviously in the original shade, which is a little bit more ashy if you feel like that's for you. I'm going in with a Spectrum brush. This is like an angled brush. And I like using this for cheeks. I just love it. I've used it for years. It's a really old one. If you watch old videos, you'll see it there. And I'm just going to place it in this area where you would contour. So I'm going to kind of buff it backwards and then circle it forwards. Buff back, circle it forward. And you're going to buff it right up to that highlight as well, because remember, we just want everything like blended out, looking beautiful. You can see the difference straight away. I'm just going to take a look on the jawline. As I said, I'm kind of doing a combination. This is a really quick way to just do bronze and contour together. A little touch on the nose, bottom of the chin, around the jawline, blend down into the neck. Although my body is darker, as I mentioned before, so I won't need to do that too much, but make sure you do. A little bit on the forehead as well. Just all the areas that you would generally bronze and contour, but obviously just don't pop it in the areas that you've kind of highlighted and concealed. if that makes sense. And then I just use the brush, because obviously it has a little bit of product on it, just to kind of like blend everything out that little bit more. To contour the nose, I'm going back in with the same shade. I've got a really narrow, flat brush. A lot of people get really scared of contouring the nose, and I'm just literally gonna basically give you a really simple way to do it. I might turn front ways for this. So you're just going to take where you've got that really nice thin highlight line. That is really important, getting that really thin first and foremost, because if you do it any fatter or thicker, it's going to make the nose look bigger. The reasons you might contour your nose is maybe like because you've got a bump, or because you want it to look slightly straighter, you want it to look like slightly more snatched or narrow. So yeah, so I'm going to get this really thin brush, and you can see there that I've just kind of added a tiny little line in the middle. Don't stress yourself about trying to get a full straight line. That's quite complicated to do. Like, your hand might wobble, whatever. Just to make it easier, just do a little dot either side, a little line, sorry, not a dot, either side with the tiniest bit of product of where you want it. Really narrow keep it, and then once it's in the middle, you can just literally blend that out. You're not going to add any more product. We don't want it to look streaky or crazy. You're just literally doing that either side now. You can blend it out a bit more with fingertips. You can go in with another brush if you do a little bit too much. But you're just using that, once you get that directly in the middle, exactly straight how you want it, just to blend it out is super easy, rather than drawing it and then having to blend out that product. That is my tip, and that is how I do it. I love doing really easy looks that don't take a lot of product. I'm using this Hoola for bronze contour. I'm going to use it for the eyes. I'm going to use it to contour the nose. I'm going to use this as just like the hero product of the look to just get me really bronzed and beautiful. Going in with a fluffy eye brush now, and I'm literally just going to take it through the crease of the eye like so, right up into that nose bone. And I basically just, this is going to look like the most subtle eyeshadow, so you just want to take it right through your crease. It's basically an eye contour. It's going to be really subtle, but it just really kind of finishes off the look and makes you look a bit more glam without you looking like you've gone out of your way to do eyeshadow. And it's simple, it's quick, it's just the same product. Also, you can see where I've kind of put that MAC Painterly across the eye, it has a nice contrast, that the eyelid looks really bright. The shadow, well, the bronzer looks like I've just got a bit of shadow. It just kind of contours and defines the eye, but it's subtle. Love it. Right, we're gonna go in. I'm gonna take a smaller, this is usually used for blush, but I'm just gonna take a little bit more of that Hoola, and I'm gonna buff from the eye into the temples. This is just going to blend it out that little bit more. And I never used to do this, and it does look a bit strange, like if you don't ever do bronzer here, but because I've done it on the eye and I buff it out, I saw Jamie Genevieve do it, and on all her looks she kind of has that darkness or a little bit of kind of like contour around the eye as well, the eye bone, and I love it. And now since I've been doing it, I just feel like it makes such a difference. So buff from the brow to the eye with that same shade. Blusher, I am going in with California by Benefit, and I'm just getting a fluffy blusher brush. This is just like angled, and this is from Iconic. I like lots of this. I love this blusher because it's corally and it's got a slight shimmer to it, but it's not too much. Just popping it on the apples and blending out. Oh, I love blush. I think you're either a blusher person or you're not, and I just think when people wear blush, it just gives that real prettiness and cuteness to the look. And then in case your blush looks a bit, whoa, a bit intense, I'm gonna go back in with that same bronzing brush that we used to do a bit of bronze and contour, and just buff it out even more. So you can see, even though the highlight looked like quite intense when I first put it on, and I put on liquid and powder, which is a lot, and I do want you to be able to see it, because we've buffed it out underneath the skin so much, it just looks so much more of like a glow rather than streaky highlighter. Eyeliner, I'm using Roller Liner from Benefit. You'll notice a lot of my eye and eyebrow products are always Benefit. Just because I love them. So what I try and do is I try and go in from the middle of the eye, lay it very flat, and I try and go in super thin, because everyone always complains about liquid eyeliner that they can't do it, but I feel like if you go in super thin, then if you go a bit wrong, you can go a little bit thicker. Do you know what I mean? And then from about here, so 3/4 of the eye, I already start to take it up because I have quite almond shaped eyes. I like it to be thin and going up, and then I start to join and fill in that flick from underneath. I just really sometimes like having a white waterline with a top eyeliner. The mascara I'm using is of course Benefit, and this is their Real. This is my go-to mascara. I like it for length, volume, lift. It just like ticks all the boxes. Because I'm doing like a soft glam, I'm not going to do lashes. Lashes to me are like full-on glam, but for some people lashes are life, so do your thing, like whatever tickles your fancy. Okay, next up, lips. I'm using Cork Lip Liner from MAC. So the way I do my lips is I follow my natural shape. I have a really deep Cupid's bow, and I kind of follow that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to pull down that middle bit and basically contour the lips. So pull down that middle bit and make it really nice and thick and dark. And I used to always round off my lips, but now I tend to keep them really nice and sharp. And I just go, there's like an invisible line around your lips. I just go along that. In the middle of my bottom lip, add a little crease. And then each side of the middle of my top lip, I'm gonna add a little crease as well. And you'll notice that the creases kind of will make your lips look a lot more voluptuous and bigger. This is something I've kind of done for years. And obviously this is a dark, this is like a brown, so this is quite dark. You could do that with a natural colour and just do it much more softly. And I literally just now going to go in and pat it down a bit so it's not so intense. But because I'm going to put colour over this, I'm not too bothered about it standing out. I am going in with a gloss, and this one is Rouge Cocoa Gloss from Chanel. Perfect colour for this look. And you can see now that lip contour looks a lot more subtle, but the lips look a lot bigger, and just a really nice shape. Last but by no means least, I go in with another one that was in my favourites video, my favourite setting spray, which is the Morphine Continuous Setting Spray. Absolutely obsessed with this product. I love the fact that it's a mist and it just takes over the entire face, as opposed to it being a squirty spray that can sometimes clog and just spritz only in certain areas. So I absolutely love this. It smells amazing. I'm going to spray it all over. Oh my god, I love it. See, when I do this, the skin instantly just looks like wow. Like all of that powder that I've put in is just gone and it's just gone in. It doesn't look cakey. The highlight just looks really dewy. The skin looks dewy. You just want to fan the face until that's dry. I love it. I literally live for this setting spray. And then finally I'm going to go in and just finish off my brows with the 24-hour brow setter. This is from Benefit. I'm literally combing the brows upwards. I like a hairy looking brow. Not too crazy, but it really sets like a gel. So I like the way that this holds as well. So guys, this is the completed look. This is my soft glowy glam. I absolutely love this look. I feel like it's so wearable, it's so easy to do. If you have a favourite bronzer or a favourite contour, you can use that across the face, across the eyes. Just use the same product and it just gives a really nice uniform look. I am loving the glow. I'm so glad that I'm filming makeup again. Yeah, I know it's been a minute, but I'm glad I managed to get this filmed for you guys. This was one of my most requested looks, just something really like a soft glam, really wearable. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do give this video a thumbs up, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, share it, and let me know what other looks you want to see. If you want to see something really dramatic, really dark, really sexy, really glowy, like, just let me know and I will try and film something else for you guys. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.